Hey, it's Adrian, and if you're looking for active noise canceling earbuds that are around the $50 mark, you're going to want to check out these Edifier TWS1 Pro 2s. Now, these have 10mm dynamic drivers, super fast charging, in-ear detection, and they're also super comfortable. Of course, it's going to depend on your ear. However, there's a couple of sacrifices made to keep it at that price. So let's take a closer look to see if you can live with that, and a big thanks to Edifier for sending these out for review. The box comes with the TWS1 Pro 2 earbuds. We have a manual, extra ear tips, and a USB Type-C to Type-A charging cable. So I have the TWS1 Pro 2 in this type of baby blue color, but it does come in a bunch of other colors if you're interested. So we do have an LED light here to just show different status changes, battery life, etc. There's a USB Type-C port at the back to charge it, and then there is a pairing button on the side. Now, taking a look at the design, so you can see it looks really nice. Everything is well color matched. And then we have the Edifier logo on the top. Now, taking these out is relatively easy. It's easy to grip them and put them back in, because with some of these cases, it may be difficult unless you have fingernails, and of course the charging contacts. But taking a look at the design of the actual earbud, so we can see it shows right and left. There's the metal charging contacts, and then we have some microphones around there, and then the speaker grill. And of course we have the Edifier logo at the top here, and it's very flush, you can't really feel it. And then this is what we'll use for the touch controls as well. And one thing I really like is that there's no really long protruding stem on these, so when they're in the ear, it's a very secure and snug fit. Specs include 10mm titanium coated dynamic drivers, Bluetooth 5.3 codecs are A2DP, AVRCP, HFP. There's an IP54 rating, the SBC codec, 350 mAh battery in the case, and 37 mAh for the earbuds. I'm gonna go ahead and pair the TWS1 Pro 2 for the first time. So I'm just gonna open the case up, press and hold the button on the side till the LED indicators start flashing. There we go. Hit scan. And then I'm just going to wait for it to pop up right there. Edifier TWS1 Pro 2. Pair. And it's that easy, and I could see the remaining battery life. Now, I've additionally downloaded the Edifier Connect app, which you could see on here, and I have quick access, so you can see that I can turn on noise cancellation, either high noise cancellation, low noise cancellation, wind reduction. I could see the battery percentage for both the right and left, and also for the case, and then I could just turn noise cancellation off completely. But let's take a closer look at the full settings. So I'm now in the Edifier Connect app, and you could see all of the information at a glance. And like I showed earlier, from just the quick toggles, you have all of that access in the app as well. Now let's go over, and we do have options to pick from 4 equalizers. I usually like having it on the Rock equalizer on the Edifier Connect app. And then if we go over again, we could turn game mode on or off. And of course, all of these settings can be changed on the earbuds themselves. You don't need to get the app, but I do recommend it for the equalizer settings. That's the one thing that you do need the app for. Now let's take a look at the full settings. So we can take a look at the firmware version, the user manual. Now let's go into touch controls. This is an area where, it's not that great according to my taste. So you can see when I pick the left earbud, these are the options I have. So I have double tap, and I can choose what I want the double tap to do. And either, it can play, pause, volume up, previous track, voice assistant, game mode, or I can switch between these modes. And of course, you can pick which ones you want, but you can only pick 2 to 3 at a time. So, maybe I don't want wind reduction, but I want, high noise cancellation. And maybe I never actually turn noise cancellation off. So I just want, high, medium, and ambient. So you have those options, but you're limited to 3 at a time. And then if I go into triple tap, I can go ahead and set game mode, or I can, pick one of these other options, like say volume up for a triple tap. Now, what I don't like about this is that there's no options for a single tap. And, I really do prefer single tap controls. And I think one of the reasons why we don't have single tap is they're trying to prevent like accidental mistouches. But I found that the sensitivity on here is already, so high where you have to be really mindful with your presses that it's unlikely to, mistakenly tap that. But now pay attention. So you see I have volume up for left. Now if I switch to the right earbud, I have volume down. but you can't just go ahead and put, volume down on left or right, depending on if you had a particular preference. So it is hard coded that way. And again, we're limited to double and triple tap. Not something I really enjoy because I like single touch controls. Now we can go into wearing detection, and you can disable that, or you could just, pause audio when the earbuds are removed, play it when it's inserted, or you can just have, the audio pause when the earbuds are removed and, no action when it's reinserted. So you will have to manually play it again, or you could just, disable that if you don't really like that feature. Now you can also use Find My Earbuds, and this gets really loud. I'll just go ahead and, yank these out of here, kind of position them towards the mic, and you can hear that. So you probably could hear that it's quite loud. You don't want to test that while it's in your ear. You can also go ahead and change the prompt volume, like whatever call outs are on here, like when it switches from game mode or active noise cancellation. And then you can power the earbuds off right from here. You can set a shutdown timer, if sometimes you fall asleep with them in your ear, or you take it out and you forget to turn them off, you could set it to never, or, turn it off after 10 minutes to 1.5 hours. And then you could just access the Bluetooth settings to reconnect it or to repair it. One thing to note is that there's no multi-point functionality here. So if you wanted to use this with, say, another phone or your laptop, you'd have to disconnect it from your phone or the first device and then connect it on the second device. So to date, these are the most comfortable earbuds that I've used, and I've used more expensive ones than these, but these just fit so nice and snug in my ear, and they create such a good seal that it blocks out a lot of ambient noise without me even turning on the active noise cancellation. However, when I do turn that on, the effect is that much more better because of how good the seal is. Since the fit is so good on these and there's no protruding stem, it really takes, a lot of flicking and moving around to really get these to dislodge out. The excellent feel and snug fit is another reason why I found the sound quality to be so good, and you probably know what I mean. You've probably used earbuds, and anytime you push it in a bit more, you can get way better bass response. Well, it's kind of like this all the time for me because of just how good this fit is. Of course, it's not going to be like that for everyone who buys these. Everyone's ear morphology is a little bit different, so it's going to really vary, but they've just done a wonderful job on these, and you can see there's no stem or post or anything like that sticking out. It's just a nice and comfortable snug fit. I really love the sound coming out of these, and I really like to listen to music that's a bit more on the bass heavy side, and thanks to the snug fit on here, they were kind of like, felt like it was kind of custom molded for my ear. There was a lot of bass response, really deep and resonant. Now when it came to vocals, that was good as well, but I did find the treble to be a little bit too high in certain songs for my liking, even though I would cycle through the 4 preset equalizers, so it would have been nice to have a custom type of option on there. But I think for the most part, for $50, you're really going to enjoy the sound coming out of these. The active noise cancellation worked really well for me, and these are rated for up to 42 dB of noise cancellation. Now, half of that battle with any type of earbuds or headphones when it comes to noise cancellation is just how well it can seal off, ambient or background noise. And fortunately for me, these did a fantastic job, the best out of any earbuds I've used so far. Now, whenever I listen to music, say at around 60% volume with these, I could still hear, a little bit of ambient noise. When I moved it up to 70%, I could really barely hear anything. And around maybe 75 to 80%, there was really not much that I could hear unless it was very close up to me. So for the most part, I kind of only need to keep these at around maybe 80% maximum. Whereas with other earbuds, I would have to keep it closer to the 90% volume, to really cancel out noise that was closer to me. All right, so I just want to demo how loud these get. So I'm going to put these to around 12 inches away from the overhead microphone. So I hope you were able to hear that, but these two get quite loud at max volume, which they were just now. The in-ear detection works fantastic on these. So here's a real-world demo. So you can see the song's playing. I'm going to pop this out. It's just going to automatically pause, pop it back in, and music resumes playback very quickly. It's one of the fastest that I've seen. Here's a sample of what audio sounds like using the microphone on the Edifier TWS1 Pro 2. I also made phone calls, and the other party reported that calls were easy to make out and easy to follow along with the conversation. Let's take a look at the touch controls. So I've set double tap to adjust volume. So here we go. So that's going to adjust the volume either up or down. Now you could see on that second attempt, it didn't register. Now I'll try it again and it does register. And that's what I mean. You know, I find that I have to press extra hard on these for it to register the taps. I've also set the triple tap to advance and go to previous track. So let's try that. So there we go. So it's on the forward track and then we can go back to the previous track as well. So yeah, I mean, once you get used to pressing a little bit more forcefully, it will register the touches, but you know, usually I'm used to a lighter touch, especially because when you do press it a little bit harder, you know, it's pushing it further into your ear canal. Casual gaming on my phone with the earbuds set to game mode is also really good thanks to the 80 milliseconds of latency. You can get up to 24 hours of playtime under ideal conditions with the charging case. Now when I listened, I got between 3 to 5 hours of playtime with ANC on, and that was dependent on the volume level I'm using, and that's going to be the same for you too. Now I didn't test these with ANC off. I mean, if I'm getting them with ANC, I just like to leave it on all the time. Now, when these do deplete, a 10-minute charge is going to give you about 1 hour of playtime, and you do also have the option to just listen to one earbud at a time while the other stays charged if you really want to conserve battery life further. I was also really impressed with the Bluetooth range on these. So I think the effective distance is around 10 meters. However, with a clear line of sight, I was able to get around 15 meters or 51 feet. And the connection still stays strong even though I was on the floor above and in the basement below. So yeah, really good. So for around $50, you're getting great audio performance out of these, especially if you like bass and you can get a nice and secure fit and seal. And I think you have a good chance with these. The fit and seal on these is actually even better than the fit and seal on the Edifier earbuds Pro 2, which costs far more than on the TWS Pro 2. So the sacrifices you'd have to live with is that there's no multi-point with these, and that may be something you use. Not everyone cares about multi-point. The other thing is the touch controls. I did have, you know, some problems having some taps to register because I usually use a lighter touch. But with these, I have to be a bit more, you know, forceful or use a bit more pressure to get those to activate. If you're interested in picking up the Edifier earbuds Pro 2, I'm going to leave some links down below. And if you want something a bit more premium with all the bells and whistles, I'll leave a link up above to my review of the Edifier earbuds Pro 2. These do have high-res audio codecs along with spatial audio. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please help me out by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one soon.